Hey guys, in today's video I am going to be trying some dupes. I have no idea, with the exception of the face powders, if any of these things are going to stack up. And it started with when I received the W7 Bronze Chick Universal Bronzing Balm, and I wanted to put it up against the Chanel. So as I was kind of putting my makeup away, I was picking up things, swatching, and I think I can come up with the full face. So I hope you stick around and see what we can do. Okay, first things first, for primer, and this was another one that I know is a pretty good dupe. This is the Smashbox, the original Photo Finish Smooth and Blur primer, and this is the Maybelline Baby Skin. And they do, I'll show you the consistency of both of them. Okay, so there's the baby skin. I don't know if you can see, it's just like a little dollop of clear. So I'm going to put drugstore on this side of my face, or the dupe. I was making sure it didn't smell. And I'm going to just try and just put a little bit. These are the areas where I have the most texture, almost, that's very, very pronounced here and here. I'm just gonna grab whoops, picked up the other one. I'm gonna grab just a teeny tiny bit more and put it here. I wanted to use a moisturizing primer, but I didn't really have a drugstore to even come close to this, so I'm not even going to mess with it. Okay, now for that higher end side, I'm going in with the Smashbox Photo Focus, and that comes out same thing, clear. They feel the same going on. They probably go around the same, the same amount does the same thing. But I'm going to do just an additional teeny tiny dollop. Now, for foundation, I've not put these side by side before, but I do remember when I was wearing this, I thought it reminded me of something, and then when I was wearing this, I had that same feeling. So the colors are not going to match. So this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous Foundation. And that's what that looks like. And for the affordable side, I'm going in with the Rimmel Lasting Finish 25-Hour Breathable. This is a long-wear foundation with medium coverage. It does have SPF 20. It took me a second. And this is in the shade 200 Soft Beige, and this is in the shade 230 Neutral. Now, for the high-end side, I'm going in with a beauty blender, the actual branded beauty blender. And for the dupe side is the e.l.f. sponge, and these are wet, and I will put a little clip in here. So these are the two sponges before they've been wet. These are completely dry. This is the beauty blender, and this is the e.l.f. from the Milk and Cookies line, I believe that's what it's called, but that's a comparison. The e.l.f. is a little wider than the beauty blender. I'm trying to get them. There we go. Maybe that's a good angle. Anyway, I wanted to show you these guys, what they look like dry before I go wet them. So we've got a tool for each side. Let's go in with the Anastasia. So I'm just gonna pump. Is it just me, or because I have 2 bottles of this, and yet it's like the little pump is malfunctioned on both of them. It's so strange. Alrighty, I'm gonna fast forward you guys through this. Alrighty, that is one layer applied with a beauty blender. Now I'm going in with the Rimmel on this side, and this has an actual ginormous doe foot. I love this foundation. It does have a fragrance, but it's very hard to try and describe what it smells like. It's not chemically, it's not floral, it is a very pleasant scent. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Light layer now on both sides. Concealer. Really, the Flower Beauty is my standout concealer. It's one of my favorites, and so I was like, am I gonna dupe my drugstore? So I did go in with a reasonable dupe, in my opinion, and that is the Marc Jacobs Extra Shot Concealer, which I don't think there is a Marc Jacobs Beauty anymore, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, I really enjoy this concealer, and it wears extremely similar to the Catrice. This is the 18-hour Hydrating True Skin High Coverage Concealer. So let's put a little bit of this on. And both of these, you have some wiggle time to blend them out. And I'm going to try and put the same amount Again, these colors are not going to match, but that'll be all right. Alrighty, I actually think I get a little bit better coverage with the drugstore side. I'm going to wait to powder, but I do want to get into the bronzers. So, let me see. Let me put you guys on pause, get my eyeglasses so I can see, and I'll be back with the particulars of these. Okay. Reading is rough without my glasses. So, the Chanel Healthy Glow Bronzing Cream in the shade Soleil Tan Bronze Universal. This has a 12-month shelf life, and it has 1 ounce in it, and the same as this. So, whoops, it does come with a little plastic piece on it, and that's what it looks like. I did swatch it, but I haven't swatched it up against this. And it has a very mango smell. And even I went and grabbed something out of the refrigerator while I was getting my glasses to drink, and it's, I don't know if you can see it, it's peach mango. That is what this smells like. And the Chanel also has a piece in it. And this is what they both look like. And I will swatch it. And the Chanel also has a scent to it. Let's see. Let's find a spot. Okay. The Chanel is on top, and the W7 is on bottom. I'm going to use, these are both Real Techniques on the same brush, the buffing brush. So, let's go in and use the Chanel. And I'm just going to swirl this in here. This is probably very unpopular, but I am not a fan of this at all. You know, sometimes it takes more than one use, but for whatever reason, this has just never worked for me very well. So, here we go. I did get some sun this weekend. I'm filming this on Sunday, the 2nd of July. Yeah, because tomorrow's the 3rd, and Tuesday's the 4th. It just always seems like I have to just dip in and dip in and dip in. And I know that it may seem, you know, like, well, it's summer, it's a light color, but I mean, yeah, I got some sun, but I have this problem year round. Alright, that's a slow build. This would not ever be a repurchase regardless if I could never find anything like it. I mean, it's way overpriced. But let's see how this one's gonna do. Okay, it's picking up good. Okay, now the Chanel, I don't, usually when I use a lot of cream, I'll put it on my hand and work it into the brush that way, but I was just wasting so much product doing that with the Chanel to get the same results as going directly in, so I'm going to do that with the W7 as well. I do feel like I'm getting a better payoff with this. Smells so good, very fruity. But yeah, I just feel like, see, I mean, you can even see there when I was just having such a hard time. This does look like it pulls a tad bit redder than this side. I'm going back with the brush and what was on it, and just I do think that the Chanel is foolproof in that you're not going to get too much and then have a really hard time blending it out, whereas I can see that happening with this. But my stomach is growling. I didn't have to dip in that much, so I'm just going to use this brush to do that. Okay, so I'm very pleased with that. Now, blush. I have creams and powders, so we're gonna, you know, this is gonna be a long one. Sorry, guys, but it is actually late at night. This is when I absolutely love to film. So I am going in with this. We'll see. Yeah, these were the blushes. This is the RMS Beauty cream blush in the shade, I think this is Demure, but let me put my spectacles on. It is. This is a lip and cheek in the like I said, in the shade Demure, and that's what that looks like. A really pretty baby pink. And the dupe is the Undone Beauty. Same thing, lip and cheek. And this is in 310 Rosy. Y'all hear my stomach is like making a bunch of noises. For this, I think I am just going to use the bronzer brush. So these are very pigmented. So I'm just going to boop, And these I am going to blend out on my hand. Wow. I mean, that's that one swoop. It would help if I took my glasses off, wouldn't it? That was a lot. Now, for the high inside, one little boop, and I go on the inside of my hand. This isn't quite as pigmented. No, not at all. I won't tap off on my hand. Okay. Let's see. For highlighter, one is a liquid and the other is a this feels like a ColourPop, but this is in the shade Gleaming from Kokie Cosmetics, and it has the texture of a cream. I mean, it's absolutely stunning. This is such a beautiful shade. And then of course we have the iconic London drops. And does this have a shade? Original. So what I'm going to do with the highlighter is I'm going to use my sponge. And I've just put just a drop, and I want to see how this so pretty. Okay, for this side I am going to take my sponge and just kind of I know these are two different formulas, but the finish looks the same to me. I mean, obviously this is a boatload glowier, but my ding dong self just really went. I mean, you can see I'm putting a lot more on this side. Now we're gonna blend it out with the sponge. I'm going in with the classics, Laura Mercier and the Wet n Wild. There, in my opinion, is not much difference in terms of what you're going to achieve. You're going to get the same look. I just don't see any difference with these powders. So, going in with the Wet n Wild on this side. I'm going to tone the highlighter down a little bit. But I wanted to lay it on thick so you guys could see. Alright. And good old cult classic Laura Mercier on this side. Don't feel like I got much on this one. I'm just going to go up here and kind of powder this 5 head. Now, I'm not going to put a powder over the bronzer because those are, well, I know the Chanel feels more like a cream to powder. So, and we're just going to leave that kind of as it is. But I'm going to top these blushes with, were these the two I picked out? I guess they were. The Essence Mosaic blush. Is this a shade? The Berry Connection. And I just swirl those together, and this one is just the ColourPop in the shade My Type. So they're both very inexpensive. I don't know if this was a limited edition, if they still have it, but it is a pretty blush. And let's go in with a blush brush. And I mean, it's very pigmented, so maybe I can get it to match this side a little bit better. Pigmented. Now I'm just gonna clean the brush off and go in with ColourPop on this side. Okay, so for the all over like finishing powder, I actually have one product to dupe 2 products, and that is the Essence Pure Nude highlighter in 10 Be My Highlight as a dupe for the Hourglass, the, what do they call this, the Ambient lighting palette. And that's what they look like. And then of course, you know, you have the e.l.f. And the other one that I was contemplating is the Laura Mercier in the Matte Radiance Baked Powder in the shade Highlight 01. And they are spot on identical. Do I want to do the eye? You know what? Oh. I will do my forehead with the Laura Mercier. the rest of, from my eyes down with the Hourglass and the Essence all on this side. Maybe that'll be enough. And usually take a really big fluffy brush. So let's take it on one side, and it's gonna be kind of hard to really tell because I had so much highlighter on this side, but that'll be all right. So there you are, Laura. Thank you. Now I'm going to take the Hourglass, and how I like to do this is just swirl in all three. So I'm just going to use that same brush. I am using my Sigma switch to switch out when I'm using the same brush. So again, I just, kind of boop, 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 go in all of them. And just kind of like to go over my face. Now, you know what? I'm going to use another brush because I did put both of them on this brush. Okay, I'm just going in with another IT Cosmetics fluffy brush. This had some translucent powder on it, so I want to make sure I get all of that off because I don't want it to dull down. Okay. So I just take this and do the same thing, swirl my brush in. And then just sweep it over the face. Now, setting sprays, in my opinion, are what they are. You can buy an inexpensive setting spray, or you could buy an expensive setting spray, and I think that you can determine what you need. If a wedding day, yeah, go in with the high-end, known to lock. It's what the professional makeup artists use. But if you're just gonna go to the grocery store or something that you don't need makeup on for an extremely long time, $8. So I'm just going to go in and I'm going to use the Maybelline Fruit Fetish Dewy. Does that say dewy or kiwi? It says kiwi. So I'm just going to spray this on my face. Okay, for lips, I'm going to go ahead and put a lip on. And I'm just going to use one lip liner. This one is a Maybelline one in the shade Almond Rose. So, guys, I have a lot of dupes for lipstick. Oh my gosh. And I'm torn what to use. But I think I'm going to go in with I'm going to do this one. So, for the high end, I have MAC Velvet Teddy. And for the affordable side, this is the Berry M Velvet lipstick. This is in the shade 0520. Dirty Rose. So, Velvet Teddy. And I will swatch these because I know I have this lip liner on. Berry M is the top, Velvet Teddy is the bottom, and this is them on the lips, as well as both sides of my face. Alrighty guys, for the eyes, I'm not going to try and dupe a palette, but I did pull out the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette, the remastered one, and I am going to just do a quick eye look with this, and then I will be back so I can show you the mascara. My thoughts. We'll start with the primer, Baby Skin, all the way. It is inexpensive. It does the same exact thing as the Smashbox does, in my humble opinion. The foundations, I like the Rimmel side better. I just feel like it's more natural looking. The blush, the Undone Beauty, you get so much more product, but in that same vein, you're kind of, I don't want to say wasting, because you're barely dipping in, you know, but and I blended it out on my hand and there was a lot left, but you know, that big pan compared to that little bitty RMS that I had to keep dipping in, and then I went from that not enough to too much. So, you know, drugstore, I'm just a drugstore lover. That's just the way it is. The Chanel up against the W7, the colors are off a little bit. I can really tell that it doesn't look like I have much on this side, as opposed to this side I can see the bronzer. So yeah, I mean, that is an absolute wonderful dupe alternative, you know, type of situation. The powder blushes, it's all in what you want. I've always liked the Essence blushes. They are very beautiful, very easy to work with, very budget friendly. The same with the mascaras. You know, this is what, $10-12. This came in a, set. You know, if you can get this half off, go for it. If these were the same price, I would probably go with this one, just because as I was building up just what was on the wand, I wasn't re-dipping in. This feels a lot less clumpy than this one. Now, this one beats them all, and this is drugstore. This is Physicians Formula. You know, I didn't put them up against one another, but you know, these were some of the very popular ones that I happen to have on hand. So there's that. The Essence All Over Powder versus the Hourglass Ambient. Essence is, you know, it has my heart. So that's a no-brainer. I will never ever repurchase the Hourglass. Once you find something that works so much cheaper, it makes the world of difference. So I did put a little bit of gloss on the lips. The lipstick, I love Velvet Teddy, but that Berry M, that came from Amazon for probably twice as cheap as even the little mini Velvet Teddy. So, you know, and it's very creamy. I really enjoy it. I don't see a difference. I didn't see a difference. So I like that. I enjoy that. I hope they would still have it in stock if I run out of Velvet Teddy. And so, because I would purchase that in the place of it, you know. What else did we do? The mascara, the eyes, the blush, the liquid highlighter. That one was a little tough because I think I didn't apply it fairly. You know, and they're two different formulas. The Iconic London drops are really nice, but you don't need them. You really don't. You can get the same look with drugstore. So, anyway, that is it for this long video. I hope you stuck it out to the end. One other comparison. The e.l.f. and the Beauty Blender. These two sponges do the exact same job. This needs cleaning, but this is e.l.f. too. I'm trying to see if I have any other ones. I mean, I've got several sponges up here. I will never purchase a beauty blender again. I am not by any means meaning to harshly criticize the product. I criticize the price. This sponge does exactly what I need it to do. It retains more dampness than this one does. This one feels dry already. This is probably my first or second favorite. Ofra does have a sponge that I really enjoy, and Haley's Beauty. As far as cleaning, this is the easiest makeup sponge to clean. it comes clean very effortlessly. This one as well, the Beauty Blender and the Ofra and some of the other ones that I have, it takes a little bit more elbow grease to get those clean, whereas I mean, this is really dirty. I was just playing in makeup. It's just from one application, one day or whatever, and it just, I mean, in no time it's clean. Beauty Blender was a pioneer in what they brought up, but I will not and cannot justify $20 for a sponge that you need to replace every, I don't even know what they say, 3 months maybe, I don't know, versus $3.99. You know, I mean, it's just, no. I use what I have. And I was like, do I even have a Beauty Blender? And then I remembered that I did. So, you know, drugstore all the way. You know, that's just my personal thoughts on it. But I hope you stuck around to the end, guys. Please do all the YouTubey things. Give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed. Like and share this video. I want to have a really big giveaway when I get to 400. I want to have an even bigger one when I get to 5. So let's keep that in mind. Alrighty, guys. Be beautiful. Be kind, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.